In a small town where people valued status, there lived a woman named Ada. To the world, she was rich. To herself, she was drowning. The sun glowed warmly over the bustling town, casting golden rays on the marketplace. Women in vibrant Ankara prints balanced baskets of goods on their heads. Traders called out their wares, and the scent of roasted plantain filled the air. Amidst the crowd, a sleek black car pulled up in front of an upscale restaurant. Ada stepped out, her heels clicking against the pavement. Heads turned. She wore a shimmering gold dress and clutched an expensive handbag. People whispered in admiration, assuming she was a woman of great fortune. But inside, Ada felt the weight of a secret. Her life of glamour was not hers. It was borrowed, funded by debts she could barely keep track of. Inside the restaurant, she scrolled through her phone, her heart pounding as she saw another loan approval notification. She smiled, but the joy was hollow. With a deep breath, she made a call. "Ada, yes, book the hall. My party must be the biggest in town." She hung up and let out a shaky sigh. Another loan, another illusion. But how much longer could she keep up the act? The town's local shop was a small, cozy place filled with the scent of dried herbs and spices. Behind the wooden counter sat Mom and Kechi, an elderly woman known for her wisdom and her keen eye for people's troubles. Ada walked in, her face bright with a false confidence, picking out a set of glittering gold earrings. As she reached for another set, her hands trembled slightly. Mom and Kechi, "My daughter, too much borrowing is like wearing another person's cloth. It will never fit forever." Ada forced a laugh, shifting uncomfortably. "Ada, Mama, I'll pay back soon. Money is coming." The old woman studied her with knowing eyes, then sighed and shook her head. Mom and Kechi, just be careful. The river that swallows a person never gives them back." Ada snatched her jewelry and hurried out, brushing off the old woman's words. She had everything under control. Or so she thought. The grand banquet hall shimmered under golden lights. Guests in elegant traditional attire laughed and danced, sipping expensive drinks and indulging in lavish dishes. It was Ada's party, the biggest in town. She moved gracefully through the crowd, her face glowing with satisfaction. But deep inside, worry gnawed at her. Her phone vibrated in her hand. A notification. Loan officer text message. Final warning. Pay your debt or face consequences. Ada's smile faltered. Her hands grew cold, but she pushed the thought away and raised a toast, forcing a dazzling smile. Ada, to success and a life well lived. Cheers erupted, but Ada barely heard them. She felt the walls closing in. The party was at its peak when the doors burst open. A hush fell over the room. Men in black suits stormed in, their expressions stern. Debt collector. "Madam Ada, it's time to pay up." Murmurs and gasps spread like wildfire. Ada's heart pounded as she stood frozen. The collectors grabbed her arm. "Ada, no, please, not here." But the damage was done. Her guests whispered and pointed, their admiration turning to scorn. The glamorous Ada was no more. The illusion had shattered. Days later, the streets were quieter. The once admired Ada now sat under a small roadside shed, a simple wrapper tied around her waist, serving bowls of steaming rice to customers. She had lost everything: the luxury, the fake friends, the admiration. But as she handed a plate to a customer, she felt something new: peace. For the first time in years, she was living within her means, and it felt good. In the end, Ada learned that a life built on lies will always crumble. She started again, this time with honesty. She smiled, truly and deeply, as the sun set over the town. Moral lesson: live within your means, for fake wealth brings real troubles.